is an advanced biotechnology company with a mission to transform healthcare through innovation, microbiome-based solutions. Founded with a vision to bridge cutting-edge science with practical, impactful health outcomes. The company focuses on understanding the critical role of microbiome in human health and diseases. Nucliq Biologics has been at the forefront of developing personalized solutions that empower individuals to take charge of their well-being, from advancing research to creating user-friendly projects like GutCheck. Nucliq's efforts are aimed at complementing traditional healthcare approaches with science-backed insights. With a commitment to innovation, collaboration, and education, Nucliq Biologics is dedicated to making a global impact straight right here with its launch in India. Tonight, we are not just celebrating the launch of a product. We are heralding a new era of healthcare where prevention, personalization, and empowerment take center stage. Let us dive deeper into this exciting journey as we hear from the very minds behind Nucliq Biologics and GutCheck. As we set the stage for this exciting evening, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey of Nucliq Biologics. Here's a short video highlighting our story, vision, and achievements.
Okay. Nishan, sir. Okay, Nishan. వచ్చిందా లింక్ ఏమన్నా సరే ఒక్క నిమిషం యూట్యూబ్ వచ్చిందా ఓకే అది చూడు
Thank you so much. Thank you for that inspiring glimpse into Nucliq Biologics, journey and vision. It's incredible to see how innovation driven by passion for science and health is shaping the future of personalized wellness. Right. So even though our co-founder and CEO, Dr. Nikita, is not here today, we have a special message from her for all of us.
This momentous occasion of Fractured Launch in India. Even though I'm not there, I would like to share a small story of how the Nucliq has started and what is the purpose behind the GutCheck services that we have started 5 years ago here in Canada. And eventually now we are coming to India to provide these services. So my personal story is I've seen my mom who went through cancer and chemotherapy. And also she went through a tuberculosis treatment journey, which is very harsh on your gut, which destroys your microbiome and you have to take so many antibiotics. There is a treatment procedure that I have observed in the system, but there is a support system of understanding how to recover through this treatment journey is missing. So she had suffered a lot due to the antibiotic course that she had to take. Every day she took 16 to 18 antibiotics from all different classes of the antibiotics that are present. Treatment is definitely necessary and it has to be done to fight an infection or to overcome a symptom or to treat a disease. But post the treatment or even through the treatment, there should be an understanding of how anyone can overcome the consequences of the treatment, the drugs that cause to our body or to the gut. Especially we're working on the microbiome, so we want to provide these services to understand that in the approach that how you can use the food to regulate your microbiome and also the probiotics that can regulate the microbiome. So here we want to collaborate with the doctors coming from various backgrounds, right from the gastroenterology to the physicians, where they treat the diseases like IBS, IBD, or even when they have to give the antibiotic course, it disturbs that microbiome. And there will be a consequences, whether it is a short-term consequences or a long-term consequences, it affects your gut and the overall health. So with a gut check, you will be able to understand how your microbiome is changing and what you can do about it by following food and probiotic recommendations. So I'm very excited and also happy to be part of this journey. As we want to collaborate with the doctors to provide these insights that can be added to the treatments that will be ongoing with their patients coming from diverse diseases. So thank you for participating in this GutCheck launch, and I deeply appreciate all the support that we've got to our advisors that have come today, and also the doctors that are present today. And I'm looking forward to the collaboration with the Nucliq and also the GutCheck to bring this forward for the patients and also healthcare that can pave a path to their treatment process. Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you, Dr. Nikita, for sharing your inspiring insights. So now I request Dr. Purvi Kalyan to come onto the stage to share his insights. Dr. Purvi Kalyan Paliwal, co-founder and CTO of Nucliq Biologics.
Thank you, Monica. Good evening, everyone, and Andariki Namaskaram. And I'm so much thrilled today to be here, and I can't express how much joyful we are here and standing in front of you and for this milestone period for us, the launch of GutCheck. Nikita has already gone through what is the main purpose of the start of Nucliq. I'll give it glimpse of the other part as well. I mean, what is the interest on microbiome and why we chose this path when we initiated Nucliq and all those things. So, 5 years ago, like 2019, after finishing our PhDs, both of us were very passionate about bringing the academic knowledge into the translational knowledge to make an impact. So, that is the time during the transition where we have seen coming from the experience, either the research background or even the problems that we have seen in our personal lives also. And so it was very clear for us. So whatever we do, we wanted to make some impact in transforming someone's life. And that is the driving force right from the start for us. And why microbiome? So many of us now it is emerging field, which is gut health. But gut health is not the actual one when we started. It's all the microbiome as whole we are talking. I'll just give you a brief introduction who doesn't know about microbiome. When we say microbiome, it's all about different trillions of microorganisms that are present inside us and outside us and that surrounding us. And these microorganisms. When we talk about, like, let's say bacteria or virus, we mainly see into the, like, as a negative sounding. Like, okay, I got a viral infection, I got a bacterial infection, and but there's so much behind that. I mean, it's not only all the bacteria, all the microorganisms are harmful. There are millions of bacteria and also the other things that are helping our human life and also day-to-day activities where they are taking part in our functions of the body. So, and core, it comes to the gut microbiome because there is a more than 60% of the microbiome is constitutes of the gut present inside the gut. So then again, now it's a very emerging field where we talk about oral microbiome, skin microbiome. You take it, you name it any part. There is a people, the scientists and also the medicinal field is connecting the microbiome part to the any kind of disease. And the science and the medical research is also transforming in such a way that where the microbiome can be centered to see the betterment in the either symptoms or the disorders or the diseases, anything in that aspect. So that's where the initiation happened. And coming to the gastrointestinal problems, why we started with gut microbiome. So more than 80 million people in the world are dying because of this chronic diseases every year. And according to the WHO, anybody who reaches after 40-45 plus age will be diagnosed with one or two chronic disorders. It could be hypertension, it could be diabetes, or many things. These diseases are causing the major cause for the global health when it comes to the chronic diseases. So among them, the GI gastrointestinal issues were also very high, and that's where we started. And we chose the gut microbiome to initiate, and we performed extensive research starting from 2020 onwards, and to see how the gut microbiome can be utilized, and what the findings of the gut microbiome can be utilized in bringing some useful purpose for any symptom reduction and all those aspects. So that's where the journey of GutCheck has begun. And coming to India, so this is especially in India with the incredible diversity and the food, and if you take from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, there is high diverse, and no other country in the world is having such a diverse cultures and diverse foods we have. So this is very interesting to, or the research that we're going to perform in India is also going to be very interesting for identifying or investigating those how microbiome is impacting. We can talk about ethnicities, we can talk about the cultural backgrounds, and how it is impacting their GI issues was our main intention. And one of the key milestones leading to this launch was our successful pilot study involving patients with inflammatory bowel disease and their health disabilities. And I can see that some of our participants were also here. I would say heartfelt thanks for all the participants, and special thanks to Mr. Girish and also Ms. Harita for coordinating this study. And obviously, we're going to thank a lot for Dr. Kiran Bedi for collaborating more on the scientific part, which was initiation for us. And that's when we started last year when we came here. We wanted to start with the research project. And that's when we started this project on IBD and with healthy siblings. And this study was instrumental in understanding in how we tailor the results for donors and also the healthcare professionals going forward. When we launched in Canada, the GutCheck in 2022, we got a tremendous response. And in this past 2 years, we have numerous case studies where it is IBS patients or IBD patients or Crohn's patients, not only the GI issues, but people who are mental health is one of the biggest problems in the West country. So, as part of Nucliq, so we have both R&D wing and also the diagnostic wing which we are working on, and what you're seeing here is the different kinds of tests that are coming out of the Nucliq, which is GutCheck is one of our flagship product. And going forward, we're going to have GutCheck Vigo, which is focused on women's hormonal balance, and because a lot of connection that is coming from the microbiome is leading to all these discoveries. And so these learnings actually emphasize the importance of working closely with the medical community and to ensure the microbiome data is not just actionable but also integrated seamlessly into the care in the clinical care. So that is what we have worked for the past 1 year since the first time we came to India and we started collaborating here. But we took almost a year to develop this database that is more specific for the Indian population. So we launched in Canada, and many of our friends and families also said, okay, why don't you launch in India? But it's not that easy. I mean, research is not that easy. We can't do it in a overnight. But we are very happy today to be here because we are very confident about the data that is coming out of the analysis, the kind of integrations we have, algorithms that we have developed over the past few years has turned out really, really great. And as we launch GutCheck today, I want to express my gratitude to all the healthcare providers who partnered with us during the pilot study, especially Dr. Kiran Kadi. And your collaboration has been instrumental in shaping this product and ensuring it delivers meaningful value to both patients and doctors. Thank you, sir. While Nikita addressed us virtually, and her leadership and she pushed me more into this one. And she's taking the easy job, and I'm here for the tough job. Instead of you guys, but yeah, our collective vision and guide everything we do at Nucliq Biologics. Together, with GutCheck, we aim to empower individuals, enable doctors, and redefine health outcomes across India. Thank you all for joining us today. We embark on this exciting journey to make microbiome science a cornerstone for better health. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Purvi Kagan. I've known Dr. Purvi Kagan for a while now, that is through Ami. So, one thing that I've known about, I remember one day she coming to us and telling that, that Dr. Purvi Kagan's, company has won the, Startup of the Year award in 2022. And another thing is that, she came very proudly and telling us that, Nucliq Biologics was selected as one of the 5 biotech companies from Canada to present at the EU Summit, Canada EU Summit, where the Prime Ministers of Belgium and Canada were there. It was a very proud moment actually. I'm sure all of us actually know about Dr. Purvi Kalyan here, but I would like to give a short intro about him as well. Yeah. So just bear with me for now. Alright. Dr. Purvi Kalyan Palekar's journey in biotech began with a profound exposure to cutting-edge biological science research during his fellowship at prestigious institutions like ICRISAT Hyderabad. After completing his master's degree in India, he honed his skills in molecular biology at Western University, Canada. Subsequently, he pursued his PhD research in molecular microbiology at Memorial University of Newfoundland, Canada. During his doctoral studies, Dr. Palekar was captivated by the vibrant local entrepreneurial ecosystem, inspiring him to establish Nucliq Biologics. Many more to add actually, but with the time constraint, I'm just stopping here. So I would like you to stay on the stage here to invite the guests actually. Alright, so it is my privilege to introduce one of the most accomplished and respected gastroenterologists of the time, Dr. Kiran Petty. Dr. Kiran Petty, a renowned gastroenterologist with a wealth of expertise and experience across the 3 continents, Europe, Australia, and Asia. Dr. Petty completed his MRCP and CCT in gastroenterology from the Northwest Newry, UK, followed by an advanced fellowship in endoscopy and IBD in Western Australia. He is widely recognized as a leading expert in inflammatory bowel diseases and has been an investigator in numerous clinical trials. Dr. Petty has contributed significantly to national therapeutic guidelines in India and was one of the first to establish EUS services in the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh. His passion for education is evident in his efforts to bring the MRCP Overseas Exam Center to Hyderabad and has been honored with the prestigious FRCP for his clinical and teaching contributions. Dr. Bedi is also an active member of MPMA and SAIA, two leading international IBD coalitions. So I request Dr. Kiran Bedi to come onto the stage. Thank you. It is an honor to introduce our next guest, Dr. K.R.K. Reddy, a pioneering leader in sustainable agriculture and microbiome technology. Dr. Reddy is the founder, director, and CEO of Sri Bioaesthetics Private Limited, a company renowned for its innovative solutions that integrate biological systems into modern agriculture. With over 27 years of experience, Dr. Reddy has been at the forefront of developing microbial-based agricultural products that improve crop health, reduce chemical dependencies, and promoting eco-friendly farming practices. His contributions have earned him national accolades, including the Pearl of Andhra Pradesh award for his groundbreaking work in crop management and agricultural productivity. As a visionary, Dr. Reddy is deeply committed to the concept of biological and regenerative agriculture, emphasizing sustainable methods that align with environmental conservation while ensuring food security. Under his leadership, Sri Bioaesthetics is setting benchmarks with innovations like crop-specific microbiomes and advanced delivery systems tailored for farms. Today, he will enlighten us on the role of food and farming practices in gut health, showcasing how the agriculture world is interlinked with the human health through the power of microbiome. So I request Dr. K.R.K. Reddy to come to the stage. All right, it's time to cue the drum roll, I believe so. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have all been waiting for, the official launch of GutCheck. Join us as we unveil the groundbreaking product and its unique features.
Please join everybody to this. Yes, please come. Then, please.
It's a pride moment for both of you. It's your children created. You come here, center.
No,
Come here, come here. Come.
Please take this. Good job.
much. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Kiran Petty to enlighten us with this talk on gut microbiome and its growing importance in gastrointestinal health. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kiran Petty, a leading expert in gastroenterology.
Yeah. They can use it. Hello, hello. Yeah, hope you can hear me. Thank you, Purvi, and thank you, Nikita, for giving me this opportunity today. So, my association with Purvi and Nikita has been now almost a year. Actually, in the last couple of years, we all know that microbiome field is rapidly growing. So, a lot of companies used to come to me and say that we're going to launch a product and we so and so help and other things. And both Nikita and Purvi was introduced to me by one of our friends, Vish, Mr. Vish, Dr. Vish, and so they came to me and said, they asked me only one thing. We are here to transform the chronic health management in India. Is there anything we can do for your IBD patients? So then I said, I'm not sure at this stage, but I was thinking about the project called, looking at the microbiota in IBD patients and correlating with healthy symptoms. Is there anything we can do in that area? So then Puri asked me, are you suspecting something or what are your expectations of the study? I said, I don't know at this stage, but we want to study so that if any pattern is picked up, then we can identify instance of IBD at an earlier stage and anything can we do or at least we can start the treatments or investigations at an early stage. So they readily agreed to sponsor, I think they sponsored about 50 kits and I'd like to thank Harita and Girish for taking lead in coordinating with all of patients and thank you. There were a lot of efforts and my junior colleague Dr. Rohit picked it up as a thesis. So they sponsored almost, probably about 10 lakhs worth of kits or whatever. So they are very generous to doing that, and we have nice findings come up, but we don't know what we're going to do with the study, but it's an initial step, I would say. And there are not many studies being done in that particular area. And then they also contributed to our IBD summit in the recent years and scientific panel discussion, we was part of the panel discussion. So that's where our association started. So without further delay, I would like to address few of the concepts coming up in the microbiota field. This is going to be a generalized topic, and I know that we have people from different backgrounds and different expertise. So I just kept my talk as a basic informative talk. So this is to look at the critical role of that microbiota in gastrointestinal health and human well-being. What is gut microbiota? We all by this time we must have understood. So gut microbiota, can you ask this or we need to? In the slides? Okay. So the complex ecosystem of microorganisms is beside the cylinder or digestive tract, and it's unique to each person. Very unique to each person. So what are other things which are unique to each person? For example, our eyes is unique to each individual. Handwriting is very individual. So you can't copy somebody else's handwriting. It's very individualized. And in fact, our outer part of the ear is also individualized. Gait is also individualized. So lots of unique things for each of human being. Gut microbiome is even more special. It is unique to each individual, and also it changes every day. For example, you have unique gut microbiome today. That uniqueness will change to another unique gut microbiome tomorrow, or with modification in diet, or stress, or medication, or whatever. So a person is a lifetime journey will be having unique microbiome profiles on a daily basis or if not weekly basis. So that's very, very unique concept. Whereas here, handwriting, of course, handwriting will change over a period of years, but changes in a minute certain way, but not completely. But microbiome is so diverse and so complex, it can keep on changing very, very frequently, if not daily, on a weekly or monthly basis. So that's what makes it unique science. So it performs several key roles in our body, especially in digestive process. It helps in breaking down fiber, produces vitamins like K and vitamin B12. It regulates inflammation in the immune system. That's where its role comes in management of modification of chronic diseases like inflammatory bowel disease and lots of other conditions. So, as I said, it's not static, it keeps on changing. If you look at the digestive tract and digestive health in gut microbiome, and it supports digestion. It supports digestion by fermenting undigested carbohydrates and provides short chain fatty acids. It maintains gut integrity. So the gut lining is called gut integrity. So any disturbance in the gut lining will be exposed to a lot of conditions. Inflammatory bowel disease, and lots of leaky gut syndromes, and lots of conditions that have been postulated. And anything which is affecting dysbiosis, that means a disturbance in the microbiome flora. If you look at the balance between the helpful and harmful bacteria, or microbiome, anything that disturbs, we call it dysbiosis. And a person who's had dysbiosis, that leads to a lot of DGI symptoms like bloating, diarrhea, and constipation. And it can be used for chronic digestive diseases like IBS, IBD, gastric reflux disease, and also small bacterial liver. What about immune system? And there are a lot of immune cells in our gut. 70 to 80% of immune cells reside in the gastrointestinal tract. And it supports, the microbiome supports pathogen defense. It regulates immune responses. It prevents harmful inflammation. And any dysbiosis and autoimmune disease will be seen as a manifestation of dysbiosis. Gastrointestinal diseases, like as I already mentioned, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, colorectal cancer. Dysbiosis is implicated in all of these conditions. Not only that, especially in IBD, with the few key observations we've been seeing in the research fields are there is decreased beneficial microbiomes, for example, fecal bacterium presidency, and increased inflammatory microbiome, for example, E. coli. And as I said, any dysbiosis will lead to predisposition to inflammatory bowel disease. There are a lot of emerging therapies targeted or aiming at microbiome modification. For example, probiotics, fecal microbiome transplantation, and there are a lot of fecal microbiome targeted therapies. So metabolic health, and not only GI doctors, a lot of endocrinologists and metabolic specialists are increasing interest in this area nowadays. It regulates energy extraction, fat storage, insulin sensitivity, and any dysbiosis can lead to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. And we often see that obese people have less microbiome diversity. Diversity is the kind of wide variety of microbiota you have in your own body. So more diversity, better it is. Less diversity, predisposition to infections, chronic disease as well. And metabolites like short-chain fatty acids regulate glucose homeostasis as well. What about brain health? We already mentioned that there is a lot of emphasis or interest in role of gut microbiota in neurological or mental health conditions. There is something called gut-brain axis. We see that a lot of IBS patients, they start to get worried about our gut, and even our IBD patients. And the more and more we worry about our gut, the more and more sensitive our gut becomes. So that is called gut-brain axis. So anything which modifies this gut-brain axis, we get symptomatic benefit. So microbiome modification, the microbiomes communicate via the vagus nerve, and immune signaling happens, and metabolites also plays a role. 90% of body's serotonin production happens through microbiota. Again, dysbiosis is linked to anxiety, depression, autism, and Alzheimer's disease. There are a lot of emphasis on psychobiotics. You heard of probiotic, prebiotic, and other things. Now we call it psychobiotics. These are the microbial therapies which are targeted at nerve system or mood disorders. What is the impact of diet on gut microbiota? Anybody who's having a lot of processed food or ultra processed food, all food items are classified based on how the degree of process goes on in the modification or preparation of these food stuff. There's something called processed food and ultra processed food. For example, if you find ready-made cooked food, that is called ultra processed food. But if you take kind of processed ingredients, that's called processed food. So there is certain difference in that. Anybody who's taking high fiber diet, vegetables, whole grain, and legumes, that is supposed to promote that health. Fermented foods are very good for that health. The things which are going to harm microbiome, high sugars, ultra processed foods, artificial additives, and these are all things which are going to harm microbiome and lead to chronic disease. Probiotics and prebiotics, a lot of emphasis on numerous probiotics and prebiotics are available in the market. So there are certain pro and prebiotics which are supposed to be helpful for gut health. The probiotics are live bacteria or live microbes, say the lactobacillus, we got expert Dr. Reddy who will talk on this in more detail. And there are a lot of applications of microbiota probiotics in gut health. Prebiotics are dietary fibers, urinary resistant starch and all these things which are going to nourish probiotics. And symbiotics, anything which combine these two, called symbiotics. What about drug response? So we all realize that in common practice, if you look at a simple condition, for example, if you have fever, somebody takes 500 milligrams of paracetamol, the fever gets down. Somebody taking 1 gram, even the fever doesn't stop. This is the simplest example I'm going to give. If you look at the complex disease, for example, cancers and all, not everyone responds the same way to immunotherapy, cancer therapy. Why is that? Because there is another person within us that is called gut microbiome. So this is how the gut microbiome can modify the metabolism of the drugs, whatever we are going to take. It modifies and rapidly excretes and whatever. The metabolism is stimulated by microbiota. That is why each person responds in a different way to the same drug which is given to all these patients with disease. The future of treatment is targeted like personalized treatment based on microbiome analysis and is a very promising area. So that's coming up now. Biotechnology and microbiome. There are biotechnology therapies called therapeutic fecal microbiome transplantation. It's a type of biotechnology treatment which targets using a fecal microbiota in the modifying disease, for example, severe ulcerative colitis and clostridial difficile diarrhea and all these things. It's also got a role in diagnosis, microbiome profiling to predict disease risk. And a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurs and research and all. Developing precision probiotics and microbiome-based drugs got a lot of potential. Exploring microbiome consortia for treating diabetes, diseases like diabetes and obesity and IBD is coming to the market. So when should anybody get a microbiome testing done? There are clear-cut indications, there are not so clear-cut indications. If you look at a clear-cut indication, somebody with persistent gastrointestinal symptoms like bloating, diarrhea, and other things, where none of the medicines are working or not a clear-cut diagnosis being established, sometimes we check whether anything we can do by modifying the microbiome. Chronic disease, as already mentioned, IBS, IBD, and autoimmune diseases, suspected food intolerances and allergies, and monitoring effects of dietary and therapeutic intervention. So, we establish a person has so-and-so microbiota profile, you give specific diet or drugs, then you repeat the microbiota and say that this is changed. So, we are going in the right direction. So, that's where we can test this microbiota and humans. And this also provides actionable insights into gut health for personalized care as well. So there are some common misconceptions I want to clarify here. So a lot of people say that I take probiotics and any disturbance in the gut, I take probiotics. It's not like that. Probiotics also have specific indication, and probiotics doesn't come in one size, and one size doesn't fit all. So it has to be strain dependent and it has to be dose dependent prescription. So probiotic has to be carefully used by healthcare practitioners. Microbiome testing is not a diagnostic tool. Okay. So it provides trends. It doesn't give you like an absolute answer, but it gives you a kind of a journey of microbiome profiling, which is journey and trends can be analyzed. Fecal transplants are not for everyone. So again, some of our patients come and ask us, sir, can I go for fecal microbiome transplantation? So there's very regularized and strict criteria who can go for fecal microbiome transplantation. So in India, it's just coming up now. Just coming up very, we are scratching the surface. So a lot of research need to be done. So it's not for everybody. A specific health condition where fecal microbiome transplantation can be done. Healthy microbiome requires sustainable changes. So if you eat healthy diet one day and binge on the junk food the next 1 week or 1 month, it's not going to improve your microbiome. It has to be a consistent, sustainable effort in what we do in modifying our microbiome. So there are unexplored science of microbiome. As I said, some fascinating facts to come across. The microbiome in our body itself weighs 2 kilos. That's almost like weight of our brain. It produces over more than 1,000 bioactive metabolite products basically. It influences health in various ways. So imagine there are 1,000 products going in your body, modifying different processes, chemical processes, disease modifications and all. So such a powerful mechanism they have. And there are a lot of microbial, unexplored microbial dark matter. There's a lot of species that are remains to be identified, a lot of need to be, work need to be done in this area. There are certain emerging research areas like viral component, like bacterial and microbial regulation. And the role in epigenetic changes. For example, if you modify a gene, that is called genetic change. And the genetic manifestation can be done by modifying uh, things which are surrounding the genes. For example, a diet can be exposed to change in microbiota. The microbiota can act as epigenome modification to give you an output. For example, if you want to modify a person, if that person is not available for suggestion, you give him a good environment, give him good friends. So it's modifying surroundings, the genetic manifestation can be changed up to certain extent. So there are certain actionable insights for all the stakeholders here. Okay, for patients, you focus on plant-based, diverse diets and limit antibiotic coverages. For clinicians, we need to incorporate microbiome science into diagnosis and treatment on a regular basis, in with clear and indication. For all the scientists, there is a role for investigating connection between microbiome and systemic disease. A lot of research potential there. For biotech leaders, we have investment they have to invest in innovative microbiome therapies and diagnostics. A huge area for every stakeholder in microbiome science. So to conclude with some future directions, we all realize that microbiome health is integral for general health well-being. That microbiome is integral to health, including digestion, immunity, brain health, and also beyond. Right? It's going to unlock a lot of possibilities, research and clinical possibilities. And it is going to foster medical diversity, microbiome diversity, and the future vision harness the microbiome potential to a healthier world. With that, I would like to close my talk. Thank you very much. Can I answer any questions, or I can give this feedback to you? As I said, it is just an overview of what microbiome stands for everybody in the healthcare field. Please, sir.
So, what is the sensitivity and specificity of this microbiota
Testing.
analysis?
Very good question, very pertinent question. I'm sure Bhuvi can talk more on that, but
Yes.
grossly speaking, there are various techniques which are used. A lot of companies, they use their own technique. And like something called 6S RNA sequencing and metagenomic sequencing. So lots of things on there. Each sensitivity specificity is different. And Bhuvi, you want to highlight briefly on each of the techniques?
Yeah. So, thanks for asking that question, sir, because it's been one of the biggest doubt. I mean, not only for the patients but also for the doctors also going forward, because lot of this is an emerging field. Microbiome is an emerging field, and there is lots of knowledge gap still needs to be covered. So, as sir said in the presentation, if you observe, it helps in identifying the trends more than the specificity of what exactly, whether it's not used as a clinical diagnosis case. It takes at least 5 to 6 years. I think because it's very complex. That is, we are talking about trillions of microorganisms that are present inside the body. And now we are just at the tip of the ocean that we are going into the deep now, and where we can able to bring at one day, we can able to bring that as a clinical test and include that. But as of now, it is a trend that we need to take care of, where it tells us about what are the probiotics that are your gut requires. As I said, it's everybody's gut is like a fingerprint. So unless I have so many, I can keep on going about probiotics because many of our clients and even the people who have done the testing, they think that okay, now I've done the test, I've seen I have a list of probiotics, I'll just go and buy them and have it. But it doesn't work that way. The main thing they need to understand is that that is missing those bacteria for a reason, which means their food habits and many things matter, the pH and the acidification inside the gut. So they need to fix those things. So microbiome testing is the starting step to understand what are those missing inside the gut, and it helps to understand how you can build them back to bring the balance inside your gut. So maintaining the balance is the key here, and that is where this testing helps to understand whether there is a dysbiosis, which you call it imbalance or not.
Bhuvi, you want to quickly tell what are the types of the 16S sequencing,
Yes.
next generation sequencing, and what are the specific sensitivities?
Sure. So as I said, like genetic testing is about the past 10 years. I mean, still it is emerging, and every year the technology is advancing in a very good level. So far we have different techniques like 16S sequencing, where we look into certain regions of DNA in bacteria, and then shotgun metagenomics is also other technique where we can go a little bit deeper into the metabolites level, and the whole genome sequencing. In the whole genome sequencing, we go and dissect the whole complete bacteria and its genes and what it is coding as part of proteins and how it is impacting them. So there are different techniques, but past 10-15 years research that has been done in microbiome is based upon the 16S research. And that is more, that's where the whole databases and comparative analysis has been developed, not only for our company, but any other company that they are working on. So the unique part over here which we are including in GutCheck is about integrating the AI into this. So we have integrated the bioinformatics part, the AI part, and also the precision nutrition into this. And we are providing a comprehensive report where it can provide like a important information like what, like let's say spinach is a good food, like, or mango is a good food, but it might not be the good food for the person who is next to you depending upon their health status. So fiber is a good thing, but for most of the IBS patients, fiber is the biggest and they couldn't digest properly. So many things are matter, and everybody that is unique, and the testing is the starting phase of where identifying what is the dysbiosis. And as we are talking about the techniques wise, I don't want to go too much technical into the sequencing technologies that they are, but basically based upon the techniques that are being used, we can go into the level of what we say, like level of the analysis point of view. That is one thing. And the second thing is not only identifying those bacteria, but how much of those bacteria and how is impacting in that particular person makes the difference. That is a more critical part to understand. So how it is impacting their health. So that's what we are trying to dwell here in that aspect.
I know the stage two.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kiran Reddy, for your enlightening insights into the topic. Now, I would like to invite our next guest, Dr. K.R.K. Reddy, Managing Director of Sri Bioaesthetics, to dwell and illuminate us with a talk on vital role of food and sustainable farming practices in maintaining gut health.
Gentlemen, so first of all, I think I congratulate both Dr. Purvi Kalyan and Nikita Kedia. So because the more happiness is, more wellness is because there are children of my friends. So both the wife and the husband, both are, they are classmates and they are children of our classmates and friends. And you heard from Purvi and also Dr. Reddy. The most important, there are two statements here. One is, we are hearing this last maybe couple of years after, ever since COVID, that is, food is medicine. Food is medicine. And we have a very common saying, gut feeling. Okay, so these are the very two common things what we generally, it all comes from where, just how doctor said, the 50 to 60% of microbes lives in our gut. And the microbiome, I did not to emphasize much, it's already explained. And if you look at the microbes means it's always scary for all of us, as we also mentioned here. But there are three categories of microbes based on their function: good, bad, and neutral microbes. Humans, we are more microbial than humans because 90% of the cells, I'm not talking by weight, by number, we are 90% microbial. Suppose a trillion cells are there, out of that 90% cells belongs to the microbes. They may be virus, bacteria, fungi. Need not to be all are harmful, no. Very, very few numbers are harmful. The rest of them. So last 100, 150 years or 200, our focus was only how to cure diseases. We simply forgot the importance of the microbes and their helping nature of the friendly nature. That's what actually now everyone talks today about the microbiomes. So it's already broadly defined. The microbiome is nothing but all the microbes. As I said, good, bad, neutral, virus, bacteria, fungi, all those microbes associated with one individual are a habit or a habitat called microbiome. So if you talk about humans, we are now ready, we are talking about human microbiome. That means we have the microbes on our skin and what's called oral microbiome, nasal microbiome, vaginal microbiome, likewise, all collectively called microbiota, including its functions, not only the physical. So when it comes to these microbes, because they play a great role in our wellness. We thought we eat, some people eat dal or maybe chicken or fish also every. They said, okay, our body produces enzymes, these enzymes, what you call digest everything. It's not like that. So we have to feed what our good microbes like. That's what we are now talking about. The food, there are many types of food. People talk about the fiber, vegetables, this and that, vegetarian diet. There are many types are there now in the food. But what the microbes likes and dislikes is clear. That's what we are now talking about the prebiotics. The prebiotics are nothing but the food required by the microbes. Not that whatever the food we eat. Now we have to really look at what actually these microbes and what microbes require what kind of a food requirements. Now where the GutCheck is really going to help us. Now as I said, these microbes, good, bad, and neutral, there are millions and billions and trillions of the microbes. When you look at, because now it's said 60 days of metagenomic studies where you can understand if the fecal matter or the gut fluids we test through the metagenomic process, where you can understand the microbial diversity. This is a very critical word, very important. Good diversity is indicated for good health. Good diversity means it's not a mono condition. It's like only one type or three types or four types of microbes. But rich biodiversity helps in all types of metabolic activities, right from digestion to the mood swings. So therefore now we are targeting and we know today what are the group of microbes which are essential. What are the groups of microbes which are harmful? What are the groups of microbes which do not have any kind of impact on humans? Sorry, I'm not running the slides. So you are able to hear and understand. So therefore, now today, because of GutCheck or any kind of a test, we can understand the compositions. As doctor said, if you take coffee in the morning and maybe later on the breakfast, then lunch and dinner, the pattern of microbes changes from meal to meal. It's not only day, even for 4 hours, 5 hours also, but there are microbes which are core microbiome, or maybe the basal microbiome. Those are very essential, which we transmitted from our parents to us. So unfortunately, cesareans and other things, nowadays there is another story. Therefore, now the trend also is slightly changing to natural birth, where it's not the genetics, what doctor said, epigenetics, or the genetics, maybe not only the genetics of the humans, the genetics of the microbes are also very essential to impart the proper immunity to the newborn children. Okay, anyway, I will run through and what? Anybody else?
Bigger one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this I was referring the base microbiome, core microbiome, and stone cancer. Little scientific, but most important thing is it's very clearly mentioned. The foundational microbial community colonizes early stages of gut development and immune system. Likewise, when the baby is born, the initial born microbes. Not only that, the genetics we have inherited from our parents, including the microbes. So the microbes play a very essential role. There are many case studies now, the breastfeeding or maybe the natural birth. All these things leads to what do you call accumulation of various microbial communities inherited from parent to offspring. And likewise, core microbiome, the common microbial community across the races. So we are talking about it here now, around 50, 60 people are here, and our dietary habits are different, and our microbial gut microbiome profile is different. But we are all humans. We are all inherited maybe all from a single stock. Therefore, there will be a very common microbial communities. So likewise, we need to understand today what is our microbiome of our gut, or maybe any organ, skin microbiome or oral microbiome, including eye microbiome. So now the research is what's called now leads to understanding each and every organ and associated microbiomes. So therefore, fundamentally, what is the basal microbiome? What's the core microbiome? What are the important taxa of microbes which are essentiated to be there in your gut? Do we have those microbes or not? That GutCheck will reveal. So then, of course, it is once again, today we are hitting stone to the dark. Precisely, slowly, I think definitely we will hit to the, what we call the target. So the science is evolving, and thanks to omics and other technologies available. And this biosis, doctor very well explained, that is imbalance. What I mentioned about good, bad, and neutral microbes, but bad in the sense they are called pathogens. The good are probiotics, we generally can call. So likewise, there is an imbalance that leads to all kinds of problems. There are many ideas, IVD, including the psychosis, etc. And coming to this, today, everyone talks about the immunity, and therefore people have started writing all the kind of kashayas, extractions, herbal extractions, this and that, and also organic farming, organic food, natural food, food without any kind of a chemical residues. Yes, these are all very important to this context, because everything, the whole ecosystem is polluted. Beside of Mr. Vikram Jain and Dr. was talking about bread is adulterated, oil is adulterated, milk is adulterated. You tell me what is not adulterated today. So therefore, we have to be a little bit cautious in choosing the what we call the products from the market, and therefore we need to seriously focus on the grown naturally, or maybe not fully refined, or not even semi-refined, maybe raw. So there are certain indications out there. The topic we will be looking is how food and agricultural crop ecosystems helps in gut health. So this is what actually now these are the challenges what we are facing, including hidden hunger. That is one of the very important. And another one is AMR, antimicrobial resistance. So these are the two things people not give much importance, but they are going to be big problems what mankind is going to face in future. That means hidden hunger, we are able to take a lot of rice we consume, lot of vegetables we consume, but do they have the nutrient value? The rice what we are consuming, there are a lot of actually case studies and a lot of actually tests conducted. The rice which was grown around 30 years back, the same rice today, there is a depletion of the micronutrient content in the rice. So though we are taking good large quantities of the food, but the food what we take is not nutritious. That's actually hidden hunger. At the same time, antimicrobial resistance. Lot of vegetables we eat, the main uncooked vegetables, especially salads and other things. How much of the pathogens are there, and how much of what's called, those who are eating chicken and other things, you experience sometimes some very bad vitamin smells and smell from the what's called flesh. So that's what they inject into the thigh or something, and they send it to the market. The same thing like they spray pesticides on the brinjal and tomato or even gourds, and they send it to the market. We wash them, but it's not sufficient, and we generally consume. A lot of micro antibiotics are being used on fish, aquaculture, veterinary, and poultry, and including human agriculture. So therefore, what happens when we consume all these food? Generally, all the contaminated with so much of we call antibiotics. So when we take antibiotic inside, generally intents of these antibiotics to kill the pathogens. But unfortunately, these pathogens become resistant. That is the biggest threat human beings are going to face in the future. So therefore, all these things are all because of, once again, the dysbiosis, that is imbalance between the various microbial populations of the communities across. And of course, I did not know tell, and this is what actually the modernization, civilizations. So in this first slide where you can see, we never used to have any kind of a toilets except that these people, maybe 3-4 decades back. Today, everything is sanitization, is too much sanitizations, and too much, that means we lost contact with the soil. Soil is mother of all. Everything starts from the soil. And we also say that soil health is human health. You know the One Health concept, where the humans, animals, and the environment, if everything is good, and then only we can say it's the One Health. That means not the human's health, it's the health of the environment, and every component of the environment, and every animal, and every plant, and also the environment. So therefore, we need to take care of not only human beings, but also the associated organisms. So I think it is it is a self-explanatory slide where we have direct contact. In the olden days, where we what do you call what do you say? We actually go outside the villages and other things where we used to have the direct contact, and there is a circulation of these the microbiomes across the environment. But today, because of super sanitizations and a lot of hand sanitizers using, and the children never ever exposed to the what do you call wetty climates or in the soils. So this leads to lack of loss of diversity. We are losing the diversity. So only one type of food. Mostly we are all eating 70% of the people eat rice. That means the complex food is most important to keep the diversity of the microbes. But today we are taking only monotype kind of food. Always maybe some fruits, maybe bananas, regularly people use, or rice, and also curd, and apart from that, some 3 or 4 vegetables. But we do not have a complex food which gives us more of the proteins and more of the fibers. Therefore, always this monotony leads to the loss of biodiversity. And of course, I do not want to go. This is what exactly causing now a serious problem across the country, not only across the globe. The pesticides, or fungicides, or chemical fertilizers, they contaminate the water, soil, and also the air. And finally, there are several we call news items you have seen. Coca-Cola consists of some pesticides, and also the mother's milk also consists of pesticides. So you see the type of actually calculation of these chemical pesticides from food chains to food webs. That means all the food chains and food webs across all are now contaminated because of use of various kinds of chemicals. Today, if you go to any village, you find 3 shops. One is pesticide shop, a medical shop, and a wine shop. So these are the 3 shops you see, all are interlinked. All are interlinked, especially the medical shop and the pesticide shop. And you see, and of course, pretty well that today the infertility is how it is rampant now. Villages also, they are all highly exposed to the environmental contamination, pesticides and other things. So the infertility is growing. Diabetes. So of course, I think Hyderabad people said it's a capital of diabetes. Or maybe 1 is to 1:20 or something like that. I don't know exact statistics. And blood pressure, I don't know, 70 people, I think 50 people will have high blood pressure. And diabetes, at least 25% of the people. nothing to do with the age now. It's more than after 30 years, anybody can get any kind of a problem. So we never see so many kinds of drugs in the pharmacy, so many kinds of diseases. If you go to any what we call diagnostic center, blood they do 150, 130 tests, 130 or 100 plus tests. So that means there is every parameter is there. For everything, like we know only 3 or 4 parameters, like our blood pressure and heart rate, pulse or something like that, and also the what we call temperature, 98.4 degrees, 120 by 80. We know only 4 or 5. Am I correct or not? Today, how many? 150 parameters only through blood and urine samples. Is it humanly possible? Impossible to correlate with a healthy man with a lot of the rest of the respective people. So that is the stage where today science one side evolving, the other side the effects are also parallel evolving. So therefore, very important today now to not only we talk about our health, health comes from the food, food comes from the soil. So 95% of the food what we eat is all coming from the soil. Even this chicken or when we goat or fish, what it is fed, it is only comes from the soil, the maize or whatsoever. So therefore, we should start looking at the soils, and the soil means it is not a dust. I think you all must have heard of one song, and Sadhguru also, I think he was campaigning across the globe, Save Soil campaign. So that is the first and foremost, what do you call, element to be, everyone to be, I think, very cautious and also vigilant what kind of a food we are eating and from where food is coming. Today, I think there are several tools are there to trace the food where we are buying. I think some stores, I think where they have a barcode and which farmer produced this and what kind of a products he has used to cultivate his crop. So likewise today traceability is the one thing. So likewise the traceability is coming up. Even the milk. The milk also we can have the trace. I think which farmer produced how many liters is harvested. So like that, there is one side, there is science evolving, other side, equally the adulteration is also rampant. But one should be very cautious, at least educated people, you should be very, very cautious about what we are eating. We should eat very consciously, and not only consciously, you have to program your eating habits. And this is what healthy soils I was talking about. Healthy soil means there are certain parameters, like our gut. The gut is equal to soil. Whatever all the microbial biota which is present in the soil, almost a similar kind of microbial biota which is there in our gut. Because soil produces food, the food goes to the gut, and where it is actually circulated, it should go back to the soil. Unfortunately, it is not going back, it is going through the drains and other things. But anyway, the healthy soil is a very important thing where 95% of our food is generated. Yeah. So these are the various foods. I think already Dr. mentioned about the various kinds of prebiotics, probiotics. There are only 3 areas. One is a good probiotic, and also we cannot say that every probiotic helps every human being, but the probiotics are the good microbes. The second one is good food, and the third one is our lifestyle. So these are the only 3 things where the GutCheck or any diagnostic test only helps to understand what is there, what is not there. But finally, so we require to change our food habits, and we need to change the complexity of the food and also the other eating habits or maybe lifestyle habits, like of course today now everyone knows it, immunity is most important. Immunity comes from where? Where every what you call the event, every metabolic activity is once again either intercepted by or promoted by the microbes. So therefore, without microbes we can't survive. So no animal or no organisms, no plant or even humans we can't survive without microbial assistance. They assist us, they help us. At the same time, they also cause, I think, diseases and other things. So these are the farming practices, right from as I mentioned about the protecting the soil, soil health, soil fertility, and if your soil is depleted with the nutrients or organic carbon or good microbes, whatever you produce out of the soil is also equally less nutritious. Whatever the fruits or the food what we eat, you cannot compare the food what we were eating maybe 2-3 decades back. So whatever we produce, there is a 25% to 30% less nutritious as far as concerned about real hunger. And of course, these are the farming techniques and farming methods. So 65 to 70% of the global soils are not supporting anymore the human beings. So that is the status we will be losing under 25% of the soils in another 30-40 years. The how to grow. The one side, the land is shrinking in the sense not being anywhere. Urbanization, plots, real estate, industrialization. On the other side, crop productivity is stagnant, and opposite side, the population is growing 9 billion plus, 140 billion plus, 1.4 billion people in India. So therefore, there is a huge demand for every acre of land. We need to produce at least 2x per hectare or per acre. Then only we can feed the population of this country or globally. So finally, this is how to this medicine is ultimate. The food is first. So how to get a good food? Good food comes from only sustainable farming, where you require to use less chemicals and more of the biologicals or more of easy farming. So ultimately, that's what. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. So definitely, it is a nice tool to understand what is there in our gut. That is predictions. He said artificial intelligence and also predictive models can be developed. And what are the pathogens? Especially we are serious about the pathogens. That those causes a viral disease, fungal disease, bacterial disease. So not only that, there are several other microbes which involves in transmission of the diseases also. So therefore, this is a wonderful tool, GutCheck, to understand. They didn't say that it's a diagnosis, it's a diagnostic test only. I'm sorry, being a scientist, definitely it's a diagnosis. What level? That is a different story. It's a diagnosis and then prescription, and then of course the followed by what is prescription here? There is no medicine like this. Useful microbes, good food, and good healthy habits. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And I echo with you about the importance of soil and also the food. I gave one of the best example also. I was talking on actually on flight and I was met a pediatrician from US. We were traveling together at the time. And it happened the conversation came about microbiome. And he told me one interesting actually they are doing that there in their hospitals, especially for treating autism kids. And they are buying the organic soil from the local farming stations and asking the kids to play for some time. Just to, I'm stressing here because the importance of the soil and also the microorganism part here, microbiome part here, in organically treating the kids who are with have mental disorders. And just imagine that one. I mean, we, especially now because of the globalization and urbanization, you see that kids are more with the phones and the televisions and everything, and they're losing this part where the whole generation and when we are growing up, when we are outside a lot in the grounds. I don't see any schools here with big playgrounds. And here the playground is big and the school is small. So this is where I mean, that's why I go with you about the importance of soil here, and I got like sir's experience and also that I especially requested him to come and talk about this, and thank you so much for accepting my request and enlightening us in this field.
Thank you. I think I just want to remind, in good old days, I don't know the elders will be knowing, the pregnant ladies used to eat soil very secretly. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So that's what exactly the soil is fully diversified.
So that's called pica. It is an what you call in a child. Usually you see children eating from this sort of thing, soil and all
Yes,
this.
yes.
In pediatrics we call it pica. It is abnormal this thing for soil.
So soil is also medicine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The main motto of GutCheck is also that GutCheck could be your medicine. And I always make this a funny comment every time saying that there is a saying called you are what you eat, right? But the science now, the microbiome science specifically says you are what your microbes eat. So eat for your microorganisms, not for yourself. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kyakivedi, for your illuminating expertise on the topic. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce our next guest, a distinguished professional whose expertise and contributions have bridged international borders and driven impactful collaborations, Mr. Vikram Jain. Canada Trade Commissioner, Canadian Embassy, a seasoned leader with over 15 years of experience, has excelled in areas such as international sales, business development, policy advocacy, and foreign direct investment promotion. Currently, Mr. Jain leads the Canadian Trade Office in Hyderabad, where his responsibilities include fostering partnerships between Canada and India. He has been instrumental in assisting Canadian companies with market entry strategies, public advocacy, and strategic engagement, enabling several of them to establish successful commercial operations in India. With a career spanning South Asia, North America, and Europe, Mr. Jain brings a global perspective to his work. His efforts have not only promoted Canada as a premier investment destination, but also strengthened economic ties between nations through tangible success. So I request Mr. Vikram Jain to come and speak a few words. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Vikram Jain.
Thank you. Congratulations. Good evening, everyone. So first of all, let me start by congratulating Dr. Purvi and Nikita. I had the fortune of meeting them about a year back, and Purvi and Nikita came to my office, and we had a wonderful discussion about how we could support their endeavors in terms of entering the Indian market. And just within a span of few months, we have seen that they are launching their gut health product in Indian market. So once again, hearty congratulations to Dr. Purvi and Nikita. So as spoken in the introduction, my name is Vikram Jain. I head the Canadian Trade Office of High Commission of Canada. High Commission has a network of 8 offices in India. There's the High Commission in New Delhi. We have 3 consulates, and then there are 4 trade offices. So we have trade offices in Hyderabad, Chennai, Ahmedabad, and Calcutta. When you hear about High Commission, the first thing which comes to your mind is basically passport, visa, immigration, those kind of functions. But High Commission does have different departments, and one such department is trade. So I come from the trade department. Our mandate is to promote bilateral trade and investment relations between Canada and India. We have more than 400 Canadian companies operating in Indian market, and in the Telugu states, we have close to about 40 plus Canadian companies active. If you look at in terms of education sector, we have Nucliq School of Business, which is among the top business schools in the world, and they have a campus here in Hyderabad, right next to the airport. It's being done in collaboration with the GMR group. If you look at the urban infrastructure, there's a company called D Associates. which closely works with the government of Telangana and government of Andhra Pradesh in terms of implementing the traffic management systems. More than 70 billions of funds have come from Canada into Indian market. Canadian institutional funds have invested deeply into infrastructure projects, to just a name of few. I'm delighted to be here to see the successful launch of GutHealth product in Indian market. If anyone of you in the audience is interested in collaborating with Canadian companies or on a research project, please do get in touch with me. And also, if your company is looking at establishing operations in Canada, please feel free to get in touch with me. Once again, wonderful evening, and thanks to everyone. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Vikram Jain. So now I would like to invite Dr. Vishnu Rao Veerapaneni, pediatric and immunologist and chairman of Swasa Hospital, to speak a few words.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Rashmi. He made me to come here. So, he's a very fan of Kiran Reddy. So, why I came here because I'm passionate about the microbiome, that microbiota for the past 5-6 years. So, actually, the life is interconnected. The earlier scientist was telling. So, soil microbiome and the gut microbiome, there is a correlation. The life emerged from the non-living things. The 5 elements: the water, the air, the earth, the energy, and the space. Each gram of soil contains 10 billion microbes. Each gram of soil. This is a living planet, which is inspiration and respiration is going on. Actually, Earth is a living thing. So, the health of the planet is the health of the life, actually. If there is no health of the planet, there is no health of the planet, life, or people, or anything else. The Earth was formed 4.5 billion years back. And the first one is the bacteria, which developed 3.5 billion years, more or less, that's what I have to say. That is the first living organism that appeared on this planet. And that goes on, and this multicellular organisms and that life developed into many varieties of lives, plants, animals, birds, whatnot, everything. So everything is interconnected. The man separated from the rest of the animals only 2 lakh years back. Otherwise, he was treated himself as one of the animals, and suddenly he discovered himself that because of consciousness and thought process, he separated from the animals. And we think that we are separate from the rest of the things. Not everything is interconnected. 10 generations before, for our survival, there are 1,054 people are there. 20 generations back, there is a staggering number, 1,050,000 people are there for our survival. If even one person misses in this 1,050,000 people, we will not be here talking, we will not be there for hearing. So this is so much. If it goes to 100 like that, everybody have same single origin. That is what people in the find in Africa, Bangladesh. Recently, they trace back to the genes. If you keep on going back and back and back and back, everything, it goes to a single cell organism. Again, it goes to just amino acids or whatever it is, that is non-living. So non-living become living. So these bacteria, very intelligently, they keep on carrying through the millions and billions of years, and they made us as vehicles for their survival. Actually, 100 times the genome of the microbiota is 100 times more than human genome. Actually, they are running the show, and we are the vehicles for them. Actually, we think we are more intelligent. If the bacteria is not there, the microbiome is not there, the 40 trillion bacteria are there in our gut. That is the size of a cricket ball size microbiome is there in our gut. That is all running the show. Immunity, intelligence, everything. How you look, what is your level of knowledge. So how you are prone for the diseases in the future, whether it is obesity, whether it is diabetes, whether it is immunological disorders, allergies, asthma, or whatever. So all these things are decided by the bacteria. Now we have to safeguard this bacteria. So I think down the line, in another decade, entire medical fraternity will be talking about the microbiome, if I'm not wrong. So that will be the future. So this is more of spirituality. So everything, all in one in all. So everything, Advaita Siddhanta, everything is connected to spirituality now. So this is like the spiritual. So we are connected to one life. Life is one only. So there may be multiple forms, but life is one only. It continues. The life continues, whether you are there or not. So to safeguard this bacteria, what we need to do? What exactly the kinds of bacteria? 500 to 1500 types of microbiota, good bacteria are there in our gut. More the variety and the more the health. Because of our junk food, now the coming up thing is the junk generation. So the variety of the bacteria is coming down and down and down. So 1500 to 1000 to 500 to hundreds. Now we have to see through the testing of this GutCheck. So how many good bacteria are left in our gut? So that is what I think we have to safeguard our microbiome through eating the good food. Actually, for God, we offer the food, the good food we offer, prasadam, we call it as prasadam. We don't give any junk food to prasadam as a prasadam. So prasadam is very, auspicious and with pious nature and with cleanliness, we offer this to God, whatever. The gods which are residing in our gut are bacteria. They are the gods. One of the person is telling, they are the gods which are still running the show. For these gods, what we are offering? We have to offer now prasadam to these gods, rather than we are offering the junk. So not only the doctors or whatever it is, now the need of the hour is to educate the masses, the community. So Swasa Hospital and Swasa Foundation for the last 35 years, what I am educating the people is about allergy, asthma, so everything, different. Allergies can be there in the eyes, in the skin, in the nose. So in the lungs, if it is there in the lungs, we call it as asthma. The same allergy in the gastrointestinal system, everywhere, the allergy. Where is the source of this allergy? Because of the leaky gut. Why leaky gut? Because of the dysbiosis. So this dysbiosis is leading to the lining of the gut is disturbed, so that the unprocessed food is entering into our bloodstream and it is causing the immunological problems and lead to all kinds of the diseases. So this bacteria, if your mind is disturbed, the bacteria is disturbed. Your food is disturbed, your bacteria is disturbed. If everything is disturbed, your gut is disturbed. So that is why Swasa Hospital is for treatment and Swasa Foundation, which I established, is for prevention. Prevention is the best intervention in any field of life. In any field of life. So nowadays, the people are falling into the well of the diseases. People are falling and doctors are saving. People are falling, doctors are saving. This falling business become a habit, and the saving business gradually this becomes a kind of a business. Falling is a habit and saving is a business. Now, if somebody is there who built a parapet wall around that well, there is no falling and there is no saving, actually. So the world is looking for the preventers. So what we need is the need of the hour is the prevention. Prevention is the best intervention. So with this, so I want to conclude. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Sripriya Sethi, clinical psychologist working with neurodiverse children and mental illness disorders, proprietor of Barefoot Being Experience, Calm Mind Wellness and Calm Mind Clinic. I would like to invite Sripriya Sethi to give a few words.
Good evening, one and all. Being from India, our favorite topic is Ayurveda, yoga, all that, right? So this is where they will always talk about gut-brain axis. So as a psychologist, the first thing that always comes to my mind is the jitters in the stomach, right? So that's where we always talk about, oh my God, I'm having public fear. Oh my God, my heart is beating very fast. I'm feeling so uneasy. Do I need to go on the stage and speak? It's okay, right? How many of you feel that? All of us feel that, right? So that's the first gut-brain axis that we are seeing. And when we look at children struggling with neurodiverse issues, the first way of thinking, especially in India, is like, oh my God, I deserve this, I've done something wrong. And as a parents, kind of accepting what's happening with the children, then they start exploring different ways and methods. And now the latest again has come back to gut-brain axis, where people are able to feel the difference. You know what kind of things come in autism children's box? We don't call them autism children, we call them children having autism, right? So you know what comes in the different box? Packed in the foil paper, idli, dosa, sandwich, biscuit, vada, chips packet, and a chocolate pack. And when you ask the parents, why did you send this? We gave you a diet. They say, no ma'am, we didn't have time. He's so naughty, she's so naughty, we're not able to do that. So literally we go back to nutrition, we talk about, what does a child like, what are the different combinations you can give them. And then giving them that kind of diet schedules have really made a lot of difference at that particular level. And then working with people who have depression, anxiety, and having a feeling of worthlessness, helplessness. So as a joke, I always tell them, "You're not feeling hungry, right?" "No, ma'am, we're not hungry." Okay, start eating fruits and vegetables. That I don't mind, ma'am, because I have no temptation left in my life. So then after 3 days, I actually come back and say, ma'am, actually just that diet, it helped so much. Where is all that coming from? So looking at how we can influence the negative through our positive efforts. And one more new research which I was reading the other day, whenever I talked to Sir Vishnu, Dr. Vishnu, I remember those incidences. When you breathe, right? When you breathe, the way you breathe can change the way you think. And then obviously that gut brain, that fear, agitation, and all the fears that are coming in from inside, they all disappear. How? How come it's so simple? How many of you work here with babies? Oh, lovely. How many of you feel you're still babies? I can feel that. Okay, so let's do a small exercise here for the gut, brain, and heart. Small one. I told them 5 minutes, so I have 2 more minutes. So keep your right hand on your stomach and left hand on your heart. Other ways, you can even do that other way around. Okay, so close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Very simple exercise. Nothing special, but you are the one who's special. So close your eyes, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Feel the sensations in your heart. Feel the sensations in your stomach. As you breathe in, make sure your stomach comes out like a baby. Have you seen a baby's stomach go in and go out? Right? You've seen, right? It keeps on moving. So in the same way, when you breathe in, bring your stomach out, make a conscious effort. And when you breathe out, take your stomach in. Simple exercise for your mind, for your body and your soul to relax. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Feel the love in your heart. Feel your stomach. Have a small smile on your face. And feel the love inside yourself. With a beautiful smile on your face. Take a deep breath in. And breathe out with your mouth. Take a deep breath in. And breathe out from your mouth. I do this exercise every single day. Keeping your hand on your heart and hand on your stomach makes you feel good. You're touching your heart, how you touch the baby and you talk to the baby, same way. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Now slowly move your legs, move your hands, feel free. And like how in Three Idiots he says, all is well, right? So I have a magic mantra where I get really excited when someone tells me all the best. Because I can do anything in the world when someone tells me all the best. So imagine if all this well can work, then all the best also works so beautifully. So how are you feeling right now? You're feeling connected, right? This is an exercise I designed with myself because even we feel jitters. And when I go work in rehabilitation centers or with children or with parents, I saw this having immediate effect. Within a minute, you can see your breathing, your heartbeat, all of them synchronizing with each other. So I thank once again for giving me this opportunity, and I would like to work with you all in whichever way possible for the children struggling with autism, because we don't want it to be a struggle anymore. We want them to teach us something. So that kind of talent, like if you all remember, if you've seen My Name is Khan, Shah Rukh Khan's movie, the whole movie was, I don't know, but there was one sentence he told. He said there was this auntie on the road he used to live in, and that auntie made him who he is today. So that one sentence really touched me a lot. So let us be that one person who can really make our autism children or children struggling with autism not to struggle anymore, and to give their best in their life because they are more talented than us. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the talk. Actually, the microbiome topic is so hot, and so it is connecting with the kids where we started with the GI issues, and then we went to the soil microbiome and food, and now the kids and allergy. So it's a, as I said, there is, we talk about any organ and any disease, there is a connection with the gut microbiome. So that's how it is. And hello, yeah. So nothing to make. It's already getting late now. So I want to bring to the important session of the whole event, which I want to take this opportunity not only to thank all the participants who have been a very key role in even before launching. As I said, when I approached Dr. Betty, I wanted to come here and do some research first. And that's where, and it's not easy to do research also. Again, we need to coordinate and all those things. So I would like to invite Dr. Girish and also Harita Garu to come onto the stage, who have been a key role in coordinating this research study. And I'd like to share some few words on the experience of GutCheck test process, and also and if there are any questions, and feel free. I'm here, and during the dinner event also we can discuss, and feel free to ask your questions also from all the participants that we discuss. Okay, please.
Thank you so much. We both are here forward family, IBD family. So we have around 20 of our IBD patients here. I just want to be talking to you. Is it okay for everyone? Yes. So that will be better. So మేమందరం IBD patients అండి. నేను 2007లో అది క్రాన్స్ పేషెంట్ అండ్ నాకు ఎప్పుడు ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఉండేది, నాకు ఎందుకు వచ్చింది క్రాన్స్. సో మాలో చాలా మందికి ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, మాకు ఎందుకు వచ్చింది, మా సిబ్లింగ్స్ లేదంటే మా అన్నకు లేదు, లేదా మా చెల్లికి లేదు, మా తమ్ముడికి లేదు, మాకు ఎందుకు ఉంది. సో దానికి రీజన్స్ కోసం మేము ఎప్పుడు ఎత్తుకుతూ ఉంటాం. ఎందుకు వచ్చింది, ఎందువల్ల వచ్చింది, జెనెటిక్స్ వల్ల వచ్చిందా కాదు, అవన్నీ రీజన్స్ వెళ్ళాయి. సో మైక్రో ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ ఎప్పుడైతే పూర్వీ వచ్చి అడిగాడో, ఐ నో పూర్వీ ఫ్రమ్ హిస్ మాస్టర్స్ డే. సో వచ్చి అడిగినప్పుడు మా కోసం ఏం చేస్తాం, మా క్రౌన్స్ కోసం ఏం చేస్తాం. సో అదే అడిగాను, డైరెక్ట్గా అదే అడిగాను. అడిగిన తర్వాత నేను తీసుకెళ్తాను, ఎందుకంటే దాని పేషెంట్స్. సో కిరణ్ సార్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళాను, తీసుకొని సార్ వీళ్ళు GutCheck ఇండియాకి తీసుకోవాలనుకున్నారు, సో మాకు ఏం చేస్తాను నేను అడిగాను. వాళ్ళు మాకు ఒక స్టడీ ఫ్రీగా చేస్తామని చెప్పారు. సో 25 మెంబర్స్ పేషెంట్, 25 మెంబర్స్ మా సిబ్లింగ్స్, 50 పేషెంట్స్, 50 కిడ్స్ ఇనిషియల్ స్టేజ్ ఇస్తామన్నారు. సో కిరణ్ సార్ యాక్సెప్టెడ్ టు బి లైక్ అవర్ గైడ్, mentoring us. సో డైరెక్ట్గా వెళ్ళి కిరణ్ సార్ పెట్టేసాం, మాకు ఇది కావాలి సార్, మాకు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారు, వాళ్ళు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారు, మీరు సపోర్ట్ చేయాలి, మాకు ఒక రీజన్ కావాలి, మాకు ఎందుకు వచ్చేది, మాకు ఈ మైక్రో ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ వల్ల ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తే మా కండిషన్ ఏమన్నా మెరుగవుతుందా. దట్ వాస్ ద మెయిన్ సోల్ రీజన్ దట్ వి అప్రోచ్డ్ both Dr. Kiran sir and GutCheck. So they are very generous. They came up with 50 free kits. Free kits అంటే మనం అనుకుంటాం జస్ట్ కిట్స్ ఇచ్చారు, కిట్స్ తో పాటు అనాలిసిస్ చేశారు, అనాలిసిస్ చేసి ఆ రిపోర్ట్స్ కూడా ఇచ్చారు. ఇట్స్ ఎ కాంప్రిహెన్సివ్ రిపోర్ట్, మాకు అందరికీ రిపోర్ట్స్ వచ్చాయి. సో ఆ రిపోర్ట్స్ చూసాను మేము, కానీ ఆ రిపోర్ట్ వల్ల మాకు ఇంకా కొన్ని డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి అన్నమాట. అంటే ఏంటి, మాకు దీనివల్ల డెఫినెటివ్ రీజన్స్ ఏమొస్తాయి. సో ఆ కాంప్రిహెన్సివ్ రీజన్ వల్ల ఇంకా మాకేమో మంచి జరుగుతుంది. సో ఈ నాకు తెలుసండి 25 పేషెంట్స్ తక్కువ మంది, షార్ట్ స్టడీ, కిరణ్ సార్ కూడా అదే అన్నారు, మనకు తక్కువ మెంబర్స్, ఇంకా కొద్దిగా వాస్ట్ గా జరిగితే మాకు ఒక రీజన్ జరగచ్చేమో. సో ఇప్పుడు మాకేంటంటే GutCheck ఉన్నారు, డాక్టర్స్ ఉన్నారు. సో we still have some more major or small questions which we want to ask them either now or towards like dinner time. ఏదైనా మాకు ఓకే. అలా జరిగినప్పుడు ఏంటంటే మాకు ఒక రీజన్ తెలుస్తుంది, హ్యాపీగా ఉంటాం. మైక్రో ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ మాకు తెలుసు క్యూర్ లేదు, అట్లీస్ట్ మేనేజ్ చేయగలిగితే, ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు గెట్ ఇట్ బెటర్, అవర్ లైఫ్ స్టైల్ గెట్స్ బెటర్, that's more than happy for us. So నాకు తెలిసి ఎందుకంటే చిన్న చిన్న పిల్లలు ఇప్పుడు టెస్ట్ now Crohn's is roughly 23, 22 years old. So now I'm 45. So I know I this all the phases how I suffered. I completed my PhD, I did my postdoc, I am principal scientific manager here in Arasan Life Sciences, but all this journey was not that easy. So I had lots of ups and downs. So we have all our phases. We don't want it for our younger generation. So I young generation now ఉన్నప్పుడు నాకు ఎన్ని ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయో తెలుసు. నేను ల్యాబ్కి వెళ్ళాలన్నా లేదా నేను ఒక సెమినార్ ఇవ్వాలన్నా I had to find out where is the nearest washroom. First thing is first find out washroom. Then I check out I can speak or not. అవునా కదా? కరెక్టే కదా? So our conditions keep it's a great help. You know, like in India, back in Tarvata, I was finding a good doctor, the customer to find a good doctor. When I found out Kiran sir, I was more than happy. One who listens to us. When again questions to patients say listen to answer now the confidence in we can do it. So Kiran sir and I confidence is there. Probably we might do it better. Marco report, we got a comprehensive report. We still want to know from our study, is there any definitive source which will say that this is causing the irritation in the Crohn's? I won't say that Crohn's as a disease, Crohn's as a condition. So my condition is E microorganisms, set of microorganisms. So either to replace them or what can be done? So మాకు ఇంకా కొద్దిగా ఎక్కువ పేషెంట్స్ వచ్చి పేషెంట్స్ స్టడీ చేస్తే మంచిది అనుకుంటే I request you once again for one more small study to take one more 25 students, patients. I know it will be too much greedy to ask like this, but still as a patient advocate and we are requesting for that one.
Definitely, actually, coming up. Yes. So one of the main core mission of Nucliq is transforming chronic disease management through precision microbiology. And it couldn't happen only just to 25 patients, and we are not stopping there, 25 or 50 patients. And we are planning in a global expansion where we are bringing several hundreds of gastroenterologists, psychiatrists, people who are into the different fields, and gynecologists, because it starts from the birth. The microbiome which comes to the baby is starting from the way he or she is born, right? So here there is a continuous process, the R&D research and development, and we are investing deep in the research and development right from the start. As I said, the Nucliq is having two wings. One is the research and development, and there is diagnostic therapeutics development. So as part of that, we are continuously working on collaborating with different projects. And you're saying about 26 patients. It's a small cohort. I agree with that one, but I can probably say today that we are the world's largest sibling study that we have performed here. And this number is also not like a randomly picked, because there was one study in UK which is done with 17 patients. And today we finished that with 26 patients. The publication is in progress right now. And as you asked about the specificities about what is the reason behind it, and as I said, the paper is under progress. But I can tell you one thing: definitely, the genetics also plays a role. But more importantly, even after getting any chronic disease, not only about Crohn's, IBS, or diabetes, whatever it is, the way the lifestyle of your food habits and how you are managing your gut health, the dysbiosis management, all these things matters a lot in chronic disease management, which is like I've seen the patients who are diabetic for more than 20-25 years. So in our algorithms, when we did the test and we see that we have a risk factors, you might have seen in your report also, where there is a risk factor saying the low risk, high risk, moderate risk. So patients who are under 30 years of diabetes for 30 years, irrespective, not only diabetes, you can take any other disease that we have identified in our report. So they are either healthy or in the low risk also, some of them, not all of them. When we look at the whole microbiome angle, sir mentioned about the diversity as a very crucial. That is correct. Diversity is very, very important. And in these individuals, specifically the people who are managing it properly, are a very good high number of diversity with a good bacteria. Having diversity is one thing, but having good diversity is very important. It's not about having multiple microorganisms which are bad or opportunity bacteria. It's about having good bacteria in a balanced state. So that is what chronic disease management and that microbiome are highly connected. That is where we are addressing as a main root cause and how to solve this. By doing this test, it is the first thing is about you know what is missing inside your gut. And especially again, the topic of probiotics, we'll talk a lot about it. I just want to conclude one part is people are taking probiotics unknowingly and they are overpopulating the same bacteria again and again, and actually they are causing bad to their gut because they don't know whether it is required or not. Just because they use any antibiotic, just taking probiotic doesn't mean it's going to add anything. So, as I said, there are so many interesting results that we have seen in the sibling studies, and as per the I'll share you with the reports, individual reports also. I'm open always, I'll be available there. And I wanted to also connect with all the participants separately also, either in Zoom call or afterwards also to discuss, even if I get a chance one-on-one as well. One-on-one also, I'm open for connections and we can do this in the span of a month or so. Please coordinate on that one. I'm open for a one-on-one consultations for the Zoom call to discuss their reports and see how it is going on.
Yeah,
I promise that.
interested to see the data over the Crohn's patient, not only over the Crohn's and the siblings, among the Crohn's also.
Yeah.
That will be great.
Definitely.
Yeah, the crowd is really good, so I can take one more opportunity to ask, and it's too easy to ask only GutCheck people. If investors are there who really want to work with Crohn's patients, please come over. We can have more, what do you say, sir? Is it advisable to ask like that?
Yeah.
So the more you punch, the more the patients will be healthy and their future will be far better. When we are Crohn's patient, we used to buy 1.5 lakhs in tests for one injection, and it was really useful. Now the medication is available, but we want to have more prevention and better life. That's what I wish for through for overall IIB family.
Thank you, Julie, for being so generous.
My pleasure.
I would like to congratulate you first for the grand launch, and thank you for being so generous and extensive support you are giving for the IIB community. I would like to thank even Dr. Tirupati English for initiating this study and all. And yeah, as most of the part, there is like cover. Thank you for the message.
So, coming to the end, I have to take this opportunity to once again thank all the mentors, advisors, my parents, and who have been a part of the journey. And coming to the IBD study, especially, I want to thank again, once again, Dr. Girish Antagaru and Dr. Roni, also who is also working on the thesis for this IBD patient study and for the cooperation. And thanks. And the journey, I just wanted to conclude my heartfelt thanks. There are few people who are not here today, and on behalf of Nucliq and also on behalf of me and Nikita, I would like to thank all the people who have been here and took time, their valuable time, and came here to support us, especially on a Sunday evening. I could see that people want to relax and prepare for Monday mornings, right? Monday busy mornings. But yeah, I can't say how much joy and excited I am to see all of you here. And I'd like to take some names and thank on behalf of me and Nikita. Nucliq, one of the chief mentor and advisor right from the start is Dr. Balakishan Gorityala, who was there as a strong figure for us right from the start, and Srinivas Mandana, and also all the I will be making a mistake if I don't address our investors and also the early mentors who are there. We have a long, our board is with the scientific advisory board, strong scientific advisory, strong business advisory board. We have to thank all those people and take this opportunity and who are not here. But yeah, I'm thanking them for my best congratulations and also the dinner is ready for all of us. I know it's getting late. I'm sorry for that one. And we will catch up while having the dinner. Okay? Thank you so much. And I should also thank Monica for hosting this event. I did a great job. And all my sister friends who are here and helping us out. And I have to take special thanks also to our marketing operational manager here, Funny, for organizing this in a very short time. And last but not the least, my friend Srivastava, who's always been there for, you see the great graphics over here, all these things. It is not possible without him. And thanks again, Vatsa, for coming here and honoring my request in a short period of time. Thank you so much, everyone. And please, let's have dinner and we can chat. Thank you.
I still have. Still have a
స్ట్రీమింగ్ ఎట్లా
తీసేస్తాను ఇంకా బ్లూ
బాగా వచ్చిందా
స్ట్రీమింగ్
ఇప్పుడు సంతోషం చేసి వెళ్ళిపోయింది